I would love to have just one uneventful week where nothing unexpected pops up and I can just make the videos that I planned. But this is not going to be that week. Hi everyone, I'm Shelly from There's No Place Like Home at redheadmom8.wordpress.com. Today, rather than talking about what I had originally planned on talking about again, I am going to be talking to you about something called COPPA, YouTube, and Big Brother. If you haven't heard about what COPPA is, then you are likely not a YouTube creator, although there are some people who just view YouTube who have heard about it. And COPPA, which is capital COPPA, I'm not going to get into it in detail. I will leave a link in the description box to a video that does explain better what it is. But I am going to talk to you about, generally speaking, what COPPA is, how it's affecting YouTube, and specifically how it's affecting my channel. And I am also going to address why we need to be really, really concerned about this. So what COPPA is the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission. It's basically their way of protecting kids. And the way that they want you to do that is that now, starting January 1st, all YouTube creators have to have their videos marked as either being made for kids or being not made for kids. And, at first when I heard about this, I thought it was pretty cut and dry. I thought, okay, well, I don't make videos for kids. My videos are all directed at homeschooling parents. I have nothing to worry about. Well, that's not true, because when they say videos made for kids, you would think, like cartoons and maybe some gaming videos, or, like songs and just things that are very, very child oriented. But no, the more that I look into it, the more disturbing this is, because when they say videos made for kids, they also mean videos that a child just might be inclined to watch, which, if you think about it, can really be almost any video on YouTube at all. And so the more I was looking further and further into it, some of the things that they were talking about was that even thumbnails could affect whether your videos are going to be marked for children, or if you should mark your videos for kids. So like if you have thumbnails that have bright colors in them, or have maybe pictures of toys in them, or cartoon figures, anything that might draw a child in, even if the content of the video is not for kids, you will have to mark your video as being made for kids or change the thumbnail. And it's really, really concerning, because the fact is that the FTC has given us really, really fuzzy guidelines on just who it is who should be marking their videos like this. And first of all, let me just say this, that you have three options. You can mark your entire channel as being not for kids, meaning that you never create content for kids. You can mark your channel as being made for kids, meaning that all your videos are for kids. Or you could do it video by video, meaning that some videos are for kids and some videos are not. So, at first, after I realized that some of my thumbnails, might have the FTC police, wondering about whether my videos are for kids, or, I was thinking about, that sometimes I do have my kids in my videos with me, not very often. You guys know that. You're here all the time. My kids are like very, very rarely in my videos, but they are in probably maybe a dozen or two. So I started thinking about that. And, I realized that, yeah, I'm going to have to go through this by a video basis. So what this means is that you are going to see, if you like visit my channel and actually scroll through my videos, which I know that some people have to do because they never get notifications, even if they're subscribed and hit the notification bell. I know that a lot of people say that the notification bell is unchecked for them. Sometimes they're just completely unsubscribed. So I do know that people come onto my channel and they scroll through the videos. So what you might notice is that I have started changing a lot of my thumbnails, because if you ever actually take notice to my thumbnails, a lot of them I have kids, like just stock photos that I get of kids, because my videos are about homeschooling or about education or about parenting. So of course, yeah, I'm going to put something like with a little kid on the front. But no, now I'm afraid to do that. So I'm having to take off all of those thumbnails. I'm having to take off the thumbnails where I put like little cartoon figures of like school books or maybe kids sitting at desks, bright colors, just because I am so paranoid to even have a thumbnail for a video that is clearly not directed at kids. So what that means is, yeah, that's what I spent an hour tonight working on this, where I only changed about 10 thumbnails. Plus, not only that, I had to go through and individually mark whether each of my videos was for kids or not for kids. I only got through about 30 videos like that, because, my videos, even though I know by the title exactly what the video was about, I don't know, like just from the back of my head, which videos were the ones that I had my kids sitting next to me in. So I have to keep going into each video and kind of looking at it to make sure that my kids are not in that video with me, even if they were just sitting next to me on the sofa. I have to go through and I have to make sure that they weren't there. And if they are there in that video with me, then yes, I'm going to mark it as being for kids. And so this is something that is going to take me a really long time. I have probably about 350 videos that I have to go through. And so, nighttime is the only time that I ever am able to do these things, because during the damn homeschooling, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm doing laundry, all of those sorts of things. So, excuse me. At night, this is the only time that, I will usually write my unit studies, or I might answer emails or, messages that people have with questions for me about homeschooling, and it's at night. And what is going to happen is that all of those things that I normally do at night, like the writing of the unit studies and answering people's questions and messages and everything, that is all going to have to get pushed to the side, unfortunately, until I get all of this straightened out. And I cannot tell you how stressful this all is. And the thing is that we shouldn't even be worried so much about, well, I shouldn't be so worried so much about myself as a creator, but I'm also thinking about what effect this is going to have on kids. And we're talking about homeschooled kids, and yes, homeschooled kids use YouTube all the time. So what's going to happen to those channels? Because those channels that are educational channels or that are specifically for kids, they're going to have to mark their entire channel as being for kids, which on the surface, it doesn't really, you think, okay, well then just do that. But the thing is it's not that easy, because people who mark their entire channel as being for kids will no longer have a notification bell. They will no longer have comments. They will no longer be able to have a community tab where people, like I have, since I don't have comments, I use the community tab. They won't have that. They won't be able to have super chat on live streams. And then even if you're marking just individual videos, I should say this, because some of my individual videos will now be marked, as being for kids. And what this means is that they will not do personalized ads anymore, which is fine, because I don't like all that data mining for kids anyway. That's fine. But for people whose entire channels are videos that are for kids, I've read that they could be losing up to 90% of their revenue, which I don't know if that's true, but that's a scary thought. And yeah, it does say that it once you mark it as for being as a video for a child, it does tell you that there are going to be exceptions to the ads that are placed on that channel. So besides that, though, for the videos that are marked as being for kids cannot be put on playlists. They cannot be put on watch later lists. And there are all of these other stipulations that come with it. So what you have to think to yourself is, if you have people who are creating content for kids, especially content that is going to help kids learn, but if that is their sole source of income and then they lose all of this, what is going to happen to all of those creators? I am so afraid that we are going to lose a lot of the content that's created for kids, because the people are going to say this isn't worth it, and they're just going to completely get off YouTube, and then we're going to be stuck with nothing but content on YouTube that is for older people. And YouTube, I've written posts about it. It has always been such a great tool for our homeschool. And I think that this is really something that we should all be concerned about as homeschooling parents. Now, another reason, excuse me, that we should be concerned is that I am looking at this whole thing as government enforced censorship. Not social media enforced censorship. That's all we've been hearing about lately, which I'm not going to say they don't do it, but social media is notorious for censorship. And what do people do? They petition, the government, and, they're always crying out to the government, help us, censorship, censorship. But right now, this is an entity of the government that is doing this censorship. And that is something that is really, really concerning. And the thing is that a lot of people will say things like, well, but this is for the kids. And that's how you get a lot of people. All you have to say to some people is, it's for the children. It's for the good of the children. And they will immediately buckle and say, okay, well, if that's the case, then we'll just do whatever. But you have to actually look more closely at that, because a lot of what is coming out about this COPPA is that they are trying to not have like all of this personal information about kids being used by YouTube, which again, I completely agree with that. I don't think that they should be doing data mining of anyone, especially kids, but not of anyone. But here's the thing that you need to think about. Since when did the government ever care about data mining? The public education system is centered around data mining. I mean, what do you think all of those standardized tests are for? So if you actually think about that, you need to start asking yourself the question, what is this really all about? Why are they suddenly concerned about it? Is data mining only okay when the government does it, but not when a social media site does it? You have to ask yourself these questions. And, where does it end? I am afraid that this is just going to start us down a hole of not social media induced censorship, but government induced censorship. Where does it end? How far down is this going to go? What is this going to evolve into? These are the questions that we need to be asking ourselves. So there is a petition going around that they are trying to get 500,000 people to sign it because, as far as I know, they will not actually be... They're not going to make the final decision on all of this until December 9th. So we have until December 9th, and they are asking for at least 500,000 people to sign a petition to send in to them, explaining to them why this is not a good idea. And the last that I checked, there was about 390,000 signatures, which is awesome. So I'm going to leave the link for that petition in my description box. And I urge you, even if you do not have a YouTube channel, as a parent, I urge you to go over there and sign it. And again, I will leave a link in the description box, which does give a better description of what COPPA is than what I did here. Mine is what I've just been doing is just a commentary, and I just wanted to explain to you how this is going to affect creators, how this is going to affect parents, and what will the effects be for our nation down the line. Anyway, that's all that I have for you today. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet and would like to hear more of what I have to say, I would love if you would do that. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave one over on Instagram because YouTube disables my comments. And if you like my work and would like to check out my Patreon page, I will leave a link in the description box for that as well. And I hope you have a great day.